Hello, you're watching ERi-TV English news broadcast live from the headquarters. Let us start with today's major headlines. Let us start with today's major headlines. On the local news, we have an announcement from the Ministry of Health. 2 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 and tests is carried out today at testing stations in the central region. On the other hand, 3 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region have recovered fully and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 9,587, while the number of deaths stands at 103. The total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 9,698. Ministry of Health, Asmara, February 25, 2022. In its first commencement held at the Fenkel Air Force Base in Massawa, the College of Aviation of Eritrea conferred today, 25 February, advanced diploma for graduates in the presence of President Isaias Afewerki. The graduates were provided 3 years theoretical and practical training in 3 programs, including pilot training, aircraft maintenance, as well as electronics and radar maintenance. In his keynote address on the occasion, President Isaias Afewerki, congratulating the trainees and parents, as well as the commander of the Eritrean Air Force and others that contributed to the program, underlined that the government of Eritrea will funnel greater resources and pursue with redoubled efforts professional training and research in the aviation and other industries as human capital constitutes the most critical national asset. The commander of the Eritrean Air Force, Major General Taglai Habteselassie, on his part said that the graduation event makes it special for it is conducted at the commemorative week of the 32nd anniversary of Operation Fenkel. Major General Taglai also said that the event, beyond its historical precedence and meaning, it signifies the bright future and readiness to effectively carry out future assignments and missions. Commending for the substantial investment the government of Eritrea is making towards human resource capacity, the representative of the graduates expressed conviction to play due part in the aviation development of the country. At the occasion, members of the Air Force that were provided training on seamanship in cooperation with the Ministry of Marine Resources were graduated with certificate. At the graduation event that was attended by ministers, army commanders, governor of the Northern Red Sea region, and other invited guests, rank promotion was awarded to exemplary officers, pilots, technicians, instructors, and certificates of recognition to those that made special contribution. The Ministry of Health branch in the Northern Red Sea region reported that as a result of the introduction of modern medical facilities and human resource deployment, health service provision in the region is registering qualitative change. At an activity assessment meeting conducted on 21 and 22 February, Mr. Tesfai Tesfatian, director of the Ministry of Health in the region, said that strong effort has been exerted to control the prevalence of epidemic diseases across the region and rapid response to the measles epidemic in the subzones of Afabet and Galalo. Mr. Tesfai went on to say that in 2021, the number of pregnant women seeking prenatal treatment at health facilities has increased by 65%, the number of pregnant women delivering at health facilities by over 56%, vaccination coverage and the distribution of vitamin A by 88% and 96% respectively, and modern latrine usage by 84%. The heads of the various units and medical directors also presented activity reports focusing mainly on the efforts conducted to control the prevalence of communicable diseases, health service provision to mothers and children, as well as vaccination programs. Ms. Amina Nur Hussein, Minister of Health, said that the encouraging participation of the community in health service provision activities will have significant contribution in realizing the Sustainable Development Goals. That was domestic news. Do stay for the international one after the short break. Welcome back. An earthquake of magnitude 6.1 struck inland near the western coast of Indonesia, Sumatra Island today, killing at least 2 people and causing tremors that were felt in neighboring Singapore and Malaysia. This is according to officials and witnesses. The quake, which did not have the potential to cause tsunami, caused residents to flee buildings in some areas, including in the city of Padang in West Sumatra province, and even triggered evacuations in Malaysia. In West Pasaman, about 17 kilometers from the epicenter, a hospital was evacuated and there were scenes of panic in some areas. Indonesia suffers frequent earthquakes straddling the so-called Pacific Ring of Fire, a highly seismically active zone where different plates on the Earth's crust meet. The fault along Sumatra Island can be particularly dangerous, and in 2009, an earthquake devastated parts of Padang and killed more than 1,000 people. A bombardment carried out yesterday by Colombia's armed forces killed 23 dissidents of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia, or FARC, as part of a military offensive to seize control of an area in the northeast of the country, which sits on the border with Venezuela. According to the Colombian government, dissident members of the demobilized Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia rejected a 2016 peace deal with the government. The dissidents have become a security threat since then and have been accused of murdering community leaders and civilians. Military planes and helicopters took part in the bombardment in the municipality of Puerto Rondon in Colombia's Arauca province. The defense minister, Diego Molano, said in a news conference at the site of the operation that the FARC dissident commander in Arauca, known as Arturo, was among the dead. Arauca, which plays an important role in Colombia's oil and cattle ranch industries, has seen growing violence in which more than 60 people have died so far this year. On the other hand, the government in Bogota accuses Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro of harboring FARC dissidents and members of the leftist Guerrilla National Liberation Army who crossed the border to launch attacks in Colombia, something Maduro has repeatedly denied. You're still watching ERi-TV, and now a recap of today's major headlines. 2 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 and tests carried out today. College of Aviation of Eritrea conferred advanced diploma for graduates. An earthquake of magnitude 6.1 struck Indonesia. And Colombia's armed forces killed 23 dissidents of the Revolutionary Armed Forces of Colombia. That was it for today. Thanks for watching.